Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is Johnny. Today, the video is all about defense. Promised a video on defense. These are the basics, principles that you need for defense when it comes to boxing. You're going to want to watch through this whole video. It's going to make you a better fighter instantly once you know these principles in this specific order. These basic principles you must learn during any fight. So here it is. We're going to start with the 4 basic principles plus a 5th one. I'm going to start with the 5th one first. It's your eyes. Guys, you can't go into a fight, and girls, you can't go into the ring with your eyes closed from a wince. Punch coming at you and you're wincing like this. You can't do that. If something's coming at you, you want to be able to see it. One of the worst instincts that we all have that we got to work ourselves out of is closing your eyes when you're getting hit. Eyes got to be open. You got to see everything coming at you, okay? That's the 5th principle. Eyes open all the time. Be able to see everything. If you get hit, so what? At least you'll be able to see the next one and the next one, etc., etc. Fighters are amateurs or maybe beginners. They will get hit, and before they get hit, you'll see their face go like this. That's the first principle, all right? Now, there are 4 foundational principles that you need to master in defense for boxing. These 4, a lot of fighters get these things mixed up and they have them out of order. But even sometimes your coaches don't really tell you the correct order of sequence for defensive principles. I'm going to explain it right now. The first principle, you need to learn how to pivot. Pivot in and out of specific movements and in and out of combos and punches so that fighters who start combos on you can't necessarily finish the combo on you. I'm fighting, I'm pivoting in, I'm pivoting out, okay? Pivoting to the side, I'm pivoting, okay, to the side, and I'm pivoting out, pivoting in. That's how you want to get away from punches first. Once you master that, that's the first principle. You got a good chance, especially at the beginning of the fight. Remember, these principles are in order. It's when fighters have these principles out of order, that's when they get beat up. That's when they get jacked up. That's when things are not going right in the ring. You have to have them in a specific order, and even sometimes your boxing coaches don't tell you the order that these principles should be in. Second principle, dipping, slipping. You gotta be able to dip, slip, okay? Tight. Keep your dips and your slips tight so you're able to counter. You may get a fighter in the corner against the ropes. You don't want to be moving in and out. You want to keep them there. So now you're just slipping punches, going to work on them, dipping, slipping, okay? A lot of fighters, when they dip, they exaggerate. Too far back, too far to the side. You don't want to do that. You'll be out of position to counter, okay? First principle, pivot, back, okay? Side, side. Second principle, dipping. Your third principle is catching. You want to catch punches. It's because you can't necessarily dip and get out of the way of everything. You got to catch them. Catch with the offhand, catch with the same hand, counter, catch, counter, catch, counter, catch, 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 catch. You're actually catching the punches, especially a jab. Straight jab, you want to catch it, catch, catch, counter, catch, counter, catch, counter, okay? Third principle, catching punches. Fourth principle you want to have is blocking. Block, 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 block. These are all blocks. Once you know how to block, that's your 4th principle. Now, where do fighters go wrong? They skip the first 3, they go straight to blocking. In boxing, you can't really block punches, man. Fighters will just punch right through the block, and it'll get you eventually. That's why you end up being an amateur, staying an amateur, because you're going to the 4th principle right away, skipping the first 3. So you got to have them in that order in any fight. Now, there's going to be a time where you may get cornered, you may be against the ropes, and you can't pivot, you can't move out the way, You can't necessarily dip because the ropes are behind you. So now You got to catch. You got to block. You blocking, blocking. Now that's a last resort, but that's how it's done. Middle of the ring, you want to pivot, pivot, pivot. Okay, you're moving around, you're pivoting. Okay, dip, 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 dip. Okay, right, catch, counter, catch, block, block. Last resort. Those are the 4 principles in that order. And when you know those principles in that order, you'll be able to get to any fight. You'll be able to figure out any fighter in the first 3 rounds. Okay? But you have to do them in that order. That way, you give yourself time to figure out your opponent. You give yourself time to basically counter every time. Become a really strong defensive fighter. You end up frustrating your opponent because you're not giving them an easy target. And that's the whole key to those 4 principles. And of course, the 5th principle of keeping your eyes open, seeing everything coming at you. All right? Now, when it comes to the lower extremities, you have to build this up. This has to get built up. You have to take punches down here. You can't be dropping your hands and blocking punches just so you can get hit in your face. You have to build this up. If you ever see a fighter who's not built up down here, that is a mistake. That's what it is in a nutshell. If you need to watch the video again, watch it again. But that's it. Remember those 5 principles, the 4 basic principles in a row, though, you have to perform in that order. Okay, guys, so listen, everybody's body is different. You're gonna have a different body type. You know, like, I got a pretty good body for boxing because my shoulders are wide and my head is kind of on the small side, so I'm not an easy target. Okay? White kid just gave me a twisty lip. But it's true. If my head was any bigger, right, it'd be an easier target. Okay? So that's the key. I just want to share that with you. There's some elements that go into boxing. My arms on the long side. My reach is 77. So that means from across my chest, the wingspan, 77. Okay? I'm only 6'1", 6.5 inches, if that. Okay? So I got long arms when it comes to this as well. So basically, you got to know, the distances that you can move in and out to, right? And you have to know your own body with respect to that. Boxing coaches will come into play and basically tell you how to place your arms, where to place your arms, if you can do the clamshell or not, if your shoulders are big enough, all of those things, they'll come into play basically of how your defense should be for you. But I just wanted to lay out the basic principles that you should have in your head. That's how you should be moving in the ring first, in that order. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget it. Until next time.